Professor Kevin Curran joins me with his technology news. Kevin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mary-Louise.
I don't know whether you heard there. I rushed the Pride monologues to get to you.
I did. I'm honoured.
Even the high kick or the whatever they're going to do at the end of it tomorrow night. How are you and what have you got for us?
I'm very good.
Good.
I would start with actually data centres again, so that they're to increase by about a fifth in the UK. So at the moment we've about 477 of them in the UK, and they're going to add another 100.
Right,
again.
explain a data centre to me.
Well,
Layman's terms.
Yeah, it's full of powerful computers, and they run digital services from movie streaming to online banking.
Okay, my brain
and
hurts.
Of course, AI as well. And there's a huge demand for data centres. And actually, Derry is getting his first data centre, and the first one in Northern Ireland, actually. Greenscale Atlantic Hub out at Maydown again. So that was granted permission back in September, actually, and that'll use 100 megawatts per day, actually. So that's going to bring jobs to the area. And again, so it's great to see a data centre actually here in the city.
Yeah, and so they're giant warehouses, is how you would describe them, full of powerful computers.
They are, and down south they've actually put a moratorium on building data centres because a quarter of the electricity down south is used up by data centres because they do use an awful lot of electricity, and generally globally about 2% of electricity worldwide is used by data centres, because every time you use your phone to do anything, Google Maps, or to use or send a message obviously, or to do a query, it's a data centre somewhere which is processing your request again. So of course they require lots of power, and again most of the electricity, the vast majority of it, is simply used to cool down, to cool the water which is running through the actual computers.
God, it seems, I mean, I've seen pictures of them. They seem very bleak places, don't they?
I mean, they are. I mean, they're not that exciting. I mean, you got cabinets upon cabinets again, but I mean, they are so sensitive. Look at, there's data centers which have armed guards inside.
What?
Which are armed. Yes, I mean, because police forces and national security agencies and companies, again, with very strict IP, cannot trust that the data center employees will not be compromised, will not let foreign intelligence people in. So what you have is there are literally data centers again where you actually have 24/7 armed guards sitting outside these cages with computers running inside them to protect them again, because of course, because it's out of your control again, and it is cheaper, of course, to use the likes of Amazon and Google and Microsoft do run most of the data centers in the world again. But to put your machines in there, but then to have guards there to protect them again.
It's mad, isn't it? And to think, like, I mean, to me, it's sort of, that's kind of stuff of crime thrillers, isn't it? Or movies.
It is again, but you know, data centers they're eating up a lot of electricity, and people are worried, of course, environmental lobby groups and ever. But it's very hard to stop the rise of technology, really, and no one wants to give up their phones. So,
and talking about phones, EE still UK's best mobile network.
It has. It's been crowned again by Root Metrics again, which kind of do a survey every year of over nearly 625,000 real-world tests, and EE are winning the award. In fact, they're double the average of the likes of Vodafone, for instance. That they're 110 megabits is actually what you're getting now in the speed as well. So EE also has the best 4G performance, and also has the best 5G performance as well, and also for coverage as well. And these tests were done in mainland England and Northern Ireland as well. So EE are definitely worth looking at again. And there's other virtual providers again which will piggyback on EE. But if you're at a choice at the moment again, and but again, always do your coverage checker before wherever you live in your house again, just to see what the coverage is like in your area, because you could be in a bad EE area, but generally you won't go far wrong because it really has double the speed of the rest of them.
And we have to say, you're not being sponsored by them. It is part of the tech news. See if someone is spying on your exact location. I know that my kids have got, you can see a map that comes up and you can see all their wee friends standing somewhere. What is that? Is that Snapchat? I think it is. I'm like, why do you want to know? But then I kind of get drawn into it and think, that's really interesting. But then, what? So apparently millions of phones have a feature that can expose and block anyone spying on your location.
Yeah, you can. In fact, I used to find it very handy when my kids were younger. I had location sharing turned on, which you can do in an iPhone. I could see where they were at any time, really.
Yeah.
It was
Were
lovely.
they happy with that, Kevin?
Oh, they were. I mean, they can't have their cake. And, I'm the guy paying for their data provider and paying for the broadband, so I'm paying for the phone. So
Yeah.
suck it up.
You heard it here first. Suck it up. You are hard. That's good. I'm far too soft. Anyway, but I love it that one maybe that you set up for someone years ago, maybe an ex-partner, and simply forgot to switch it off. Is that true?
I did the same thing. Look at my son is in Japan with his friends, and the first day he left his phone, his iPhone, in a train station, and then we had 9 hours to wait for the next morning to go and get it. But I could see where it was immediately. I went into location sharing, and I'd forgotten I even had location sharing with him, and I could see what the phone was. And thank goodness, actually, he got it back. I mean, it was lovely that it was in Japan and not somewhere else, But it can be very useful, of course. And of course, you can see your location, and whenever you're sharing with, I find my iPhone or find my device as well. But again, there is a safety check built into, if you go into privacy, into settings, general and privacy, you can see who you're sharing your location with. Are you sharing calendars with anyone else? And you can also see where you're sharing your location with, which apps are on your phone as well, because that can be a good way to see, well, why is this weighing scales, for instance, looking for my location or whatever else. So it's a good way to just do a safety check to see who you're sharing location with, whether it be people or other apps.
I'm sharing with no one. Briefly, Microsoft confirms last update for 700 million Windows users. You've got about 20 seconds.
Yeah, there's 700 million Windows 10 users again, and Microsoft will end support. That means all the updates, which are usually for cybersecurity, will end on October the 14th. But people should update to Windows 11 again, which is a free upgrade. But a lot of people are reluctant because Microsoft tried to bring out this intrusive privacy thing, Recall, which captures everything you do in your computer in a screenshot, and people don't like that.
Yeah, well, as they say, suck it up. Kevin Curran, thank you so much for joining us with your technology news. I'm going to be back after our news here with Ashley Swan.
On BBC Sounds, your radio, TV and smart speaker, this is The Northwest at 1 on BBC Radio Foyle.
You're listening to The Northwest at 1 with Ashley Swan.